What's up, friends?
Hey, it's Big D.
It's Big D and Anita.
Hi.
We have got some great guests coming up. Make sure you like that video, share with your friends and family. We've got a lot of 4th of July fun. We're also going to talk about the elections. Anita, how excited are you?
I'm very excited. July 21st is the primary election, and people might still have a lot of questions about who to vote for, who not to vote for. Well, we've got it all handled in a nice little booklet. Yeah, we've got some talkers. We're going to talk about travel. We're going to talk about food. What else do you want to talk about, Dave?
Nothing. Just
Then
we're
nothing.
2 minutes away.
Nothing.
It's just going to be so much fun, guys.
Make sure you're putting your questions up in there if you guys have any.
Oh, great.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Bye. All right, welcome on in. 10 o'clock this morning. Good morning, everyone. Louis Gonzalez, Linda Monterth, Burger Boy, Lil Philosophy. It's good to see all of you in the chat this morning on this Friday, July the 3rd. We're, of course, talking about some of the holiday dangers, some of the enforcements and restrictions that are in place as well. And Anita joins us this morning on the stream. Good
it's
morning.
good to see you, Anita. Yes, it has.
We have a
it's
lot
nice
to catch
see
up
you.
on, don't we?
We do. And let's go back to, of course, that shot and... Ronnie, where do I find that image, that first image? Is it Graphics 1? Graphics 1. Let me go back to it because it is something that is very important to what's happening. Wow. That was SOT 1. My apologies. But that was great sound from that woman watching some of those fireworks. Unfortunately, though, that is part of the holiday danger that we're experiencing. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. Thank you for all the hearts and likes in there, and thank you for liking the video as well. All right, we do have a special guest here in studio with us this morning. This is Tom Collins. Tom, good to see you. This Clean Elections Executive Director. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, thanks.
What a way to celebrate.
I couldn't think of a better way to do it.
Lean into the microphone if you don't mind.
There you go.
It's also Tom Cruise's birthday.
Is that you were Tom was named after you, or you were named after Tom?
I was named after my father, but I'm also named after a drink, so you know.
There you go, Tom Collins.
That's true.
I'm sure that's probably a story for another time. We want to talk about the election. The primary election is coming up July 21st.
Yes.
A lot of people have a lot of questions.
Sure.
And you're here to answer those.
I will do my best.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about the candidates and how do people decide who they're voting for, who they're not voting for. Is there a good source? Is there one source?
Right. So, well, what we do at Clean Elections, we're a state agency. We were created by the voters about 30 years ago. And one of the things voters wanted was to have access to information. Who's running for office?
Right.
What do they stand for? So we have a couple different publications we do on that. We do a candidate statement pamphlet. I don't know if this is a thing that everybody gets at home, and it's got biographies and profiles of all the candidates candidates at the state and legislative and county level. And then we have this debate series. So we have had debates for legislature and for statewide election and for Congress all through the last few weeks. And, you can watch those on our website.
For folks who may not understand what it is, what is Clean Elections?
Well, that's a good question. This agency's been around for 30 years after this initiative that was passed in 1998, so almost 30 years. And what we do is basically serve voters by providing them information about who's running for office, who's trying to influence people running for office in terms of campaign finance. And then we also try to make sure folks know how to get their vote cast and how to get involved. So, when you talk about the county recorder, or the county elections department, they're in the counting ballots, the logistics of all that stuff. What our agency is really about is what is a voter going to need to know or want to know that day? They want to know who's running for office. They want to know what they stand for. They want to know what they think about the issues that those voters care about. And we, focus the agency around answering those kind of questions.
Compiling all that information.
Yeah.
You wanted to talk about a voter dashboard.
Sure.
What exactly is that, and how do you make it personal for each voter?
Right. So the voter dashboard, you go to azcleanelections.gov and you put your address in, and it'll tell you all the candidates that you're eligible to.
Yeah, that's okay.
To vote for, and their bio if they've submitted one, and so a lot of what we do on the back end, though, to make that happen is my colleagues will go. They're on the phone with counties, with cities, making sure that we're actually compiling all that information, doing that research, so that when you type that address in, you're getting all that information correct and up front. So it's really a single hub that has all the information on who you can vote for and how to cast your ballot.
I think, and some people you're not running for office here.
No, I'm not.
Somebody in the chat was like, vote for me. I think Thomas, he's like, sometimes it gets a little irritating because some of the politicians come on and they share their thoughts. But what you do is you really help make it a little bit easier for a lot of voters to understand the process.
That's right. I think that's the right contrast. I mean, everybody and their brother has received a whole bunch of mailings. They're going to continue
too
to get
many,
mail.
right?
Exactly.
And text messages.
Right. And the ads are up, and then the news, right, is also oriented toward the campaign. So what the commission does is hopefully provide a place where you can sort of step outside of that and sort of take a breath. I mean, we're still doing a print edition, and I think that's important too because
Can I take a look at it? Do you
please,
mind?
of course.
And you know what I think is interesting about it too, because people still need a print edition.
Right. Yeah.
Some people may not have access to the internet at home.
Right.
Some people, and this is really important for folks to kind of sift through.
Yeah.
I feel like
Well, because I was going to say you can't complain if you don't vote.
Right. But that's like an old school study guide,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Where
that's
you can
exactly right.
actually make notes in the margins.
Yeah.
You can highlight, voter candidates who you're interested in, who,
Yes.
and kind of keep, and then you can take that with you when you go to vote. If you do vote in person and reference,
So you
it.
take this in with you. To
That's
polls.
exactly, yeah. Or if you're doing the voting or vote by mail, like 80% of people, you can sit down, you've got your ballot, you've got your guide, you've got your notes, and you can go through it that way. 25 years ago, I was a newspaper reporter, and we put together a packet like that, that was part of your subscription. And that product is gone, right? That's not something that's out there anymore. And so the kind of information that, just used to be more in the media environment isn't. So this is, I think, an important, backstop for some of those changes.
Now, oftentimes you're relying on those group text messages saying who are you voting for and who's this candidate. And it's nice to be able to make your own informed decision. Do you have advice for voters who are undecided?
We have a lot of independents in the state of Arizona
we do.
now.
So I think the first thing is just the practical matter. If you're an independent voter, you can vote in the primary. You have to pick a ballot of a party, right? So you'll get to pick the Democratic Party, the Republican Party. You could pick the No Labels Party, some of those have a lot of contested races. Some of them have very few. The other thing that's going to be on that ballot for the primary is going to be some city primaries, and those are nonpartisan. So as you're going through your ballot, you're going to see.
Or they should be.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean,
well, they are.
As much as we can control.
Right, exactly, right. If they're officially nonpartisan.
Yes,
right.
yeah.
So you'll pick, let's say you pick the Republican ballot, you go through, you got your congressional district where you are, you've got your statewide, you've got your legislature, and then when you get to the bottom, everybody, whether Republican or Democrat, is getting that if you're in a city with an election, everybody's getting that same city part of the ballot. So that's the first thing. I think the other thing that people have to decide is, if you're an independent, is maybe where you think your vote matters the most.
Oh, that's true.
Some parties have a lot of contested primaries. Maybe there's one you you really care about.
Or an issue that you can.
Yeah,
I feel like these days, and maybe that's why there's so many more independent voters. People vote not along party lines as much, but they're issue-based voters.
That's
like
right.
the abortion issue is really important to me, or the immigration issue is important to me, or the economy, or something like that.
Right. No, that's 100% right. And I think that that's more when we get the initiatives and referendums come out, that will be another thing people get oriented around.
Also important to note is sometimes people will skip certain races.
Yes.
For example, judges.
Yes.
Which you don't typically see in a primary.
Right. You don't.
But you'll skip the race because you don't know who this candidate is, or you don't think it's important. But as Celeste said, it's important. You can't complain unless you vote for each individual candidate in each race.
That's true. Although one of the top questions we get is whether or not I have to vote every race on the ballot in order to submit my ballot. And the answer is no. You are allowed to leave whatever ones you want.
You can just go in and vote for one person if you so choose.
That's right.
Wow.
That's right.
Okay.
But that is probably a top 5 question we get every
I love
election
this,
cycle.
though, on the inside of this, and I love that you guys have done this, a definition of offices to be elected. So let's say you're running for, or you're voting for a corporation commission, and you think, well, what does that person do?
Right.
You have the definition in here, and if somebody doesn't have this in their mail or whatever, where can we find one?
Well, you can go on our website, azcleanelections.gov, and there you can either use the address tool in the dashboard and find just those candidates that you're eligible to vote for. There's also a list. You can get to all the candidates that are out there if you just want to read all their bios for some reason.
You also include photos.
Yes.
And that's nice because then when you're looking at the ads, putting a picture, a name to the face, that can also be helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, and all that's brought in by the candidates.
Yeah.
I mean, they're submitting that stuff.
Well,
we're
it's
not.
their photo. They're like, come
They
on.
get to pick the best one.
Yes, that's right.
I like this headshot.
So we do make sure they approve it.
We
for
get
sure.
to do the same thing for the website.
Tom, so happy birthday to you.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
for coming in. You're very festive. Any 4th of July plans, my friend?
No, not sure yet. We're probably going to find some fireworks somewhere.
Oh, well,
yeah.
you and America. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank
Happy
you, my
birthday
friend.
to Tom and to America.
Oh, my goodness, yes. All right, let's talk about some 4th of July travel this morning. Tom, thank you so much.
thank
Have
you.
a great day. And can we keep this, by the way? Or do you? Okay, wonderful. Thank you. This is a great guide, don't you think,
it really
Anita?
is, yeah.
Great
And
guide.
I'm like you. I like having paper and pencil. And
Yeah.
I like really going through everything because sometimes I feel like things get lost on the phone.
Absolutely.
You want to talk about Sky Harbor?
Let's do it.
A lot of passengers yesterday. 5.85 million people expected to fly to their destination. So that was 179,000 Arizona Sky Harbor, reminding passengers check your flight status before going to the airport, check security wait times. You can get updates on parking lot status as well. It's all on their website. And then, of course, we have people hitting the road as well. So AAA expects to 61.4 million people to drive to their destination.
All right, let's talk about your 4th of July food as well. Some juicy burgers may be on the menu. There is a slight rise in price on some of the items, but otherwise pretty good in terms of where those prices stand right now. So, of course, as you know, probably the one thing that most Americans will be eating is the hot dog.
The hot dog. We talked about that in your Celeste story of the day.
We did. So there's a lot of different type of hot dogs. In fact, there's the Sonoran dog, which we know down here in the Southwest.
A Chicago dog.
Yeah, that's so good, Anita.
Which one? Do you want me to bring one back for you?
I would love to.
I don't know how I
Anita's
could.
going to go to. Oh my gosh, they're so good. The celery salt, the tomato.
You do like that. That does describe Celeste. Little spice, little spice. The one that I missed, I think you called it the Cleveland dog.
Yes.
Which was chili and cheese.
Yes, so good.
Back in the day when I ate the hot dogs, that was
Yeah.
my go-to. Chili dog with cheese.
What's on the menu this year for your 4th
I'm
of July?
not sure.
Anita?
We're going to my uncle's for a barbecue.
Oh, nice.
So I'm not quite sure. We're in charge of bringing a salad of some sort.
Nothing like a Polish barbecue.
You know
it's going to be so fun.
Yeah, they honestly, I think he's doing like a whole pig.
Oh my
a
gosh,
pig roast.
a pig roast, how
I don't know.
fun.
We'll see.
Oh, that's the best pork. It's slow roasted.
Yeah.
Oh, so yum.
He's going all out.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we hope all of you as well are enjoying yourself this 4th of July. Let's take a quick glance at our poll question. It is 4th of July themed. Has the current economy impacted your 4th of July plans this weekend? 62% of you say somewhat, cutting down on travel and groceries, but still celebrating. 34% of you say not at all. I'll pay anything to celebrate. Anita, what does it look like on YouTube?
Well, yes, and gas airfare prices have me staying local. That's 49%, so a bit of a shift there. Somewhat cutting down on travel groceries, but still celebrating 19%. And not at all, I'll pay anything to celebrate at 32%.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. Here is a sneak peek of your mystery camera. More on this at 10:30. In the meantime, we'll be right back. All right, welcome back, everyone. That is a quick glance at your mystery camera this morning, and that is a sneak peek. What are your thoughts, Anita? There's
Midwest all the way. Iowa, Idaho, maybe Illinois.
Illinois,
as
maybe
some people say.
Missouri.
Maybe.
There's lots of water. There's a waterway.
Is it raining? No, but it is cloudy.
I know what you mean, though. I think that's just oil on the parking lot from underneath
Clean
the
up
cars.
your concrete.
Absolutely. Let's see. We have a few people. Okay, so what are you guys doing for 4th of July? I think somebody put in there the Enchanted Island at Encanto Park. That actually was a place that we used to take our kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have like little rides for kids, small little
Do they
roller
still have 'em?
coasters. Yeah, they still have them.
that's cute.
They have like a carousel. It's all outdoors. It's going to be fairly nice. Like if you take your kids in the morning, it's going to be really nice.
We have a lot of really pretty hidden gems, the parks.
Yeah.
I was anchoring with you and Ty was gone a couple weeks ago, and Tom was over. I can't remember.
Oh, was it the in Gilbert? Was it the Gilbert Riparian
Yes.
Preserve or something?
Yeah.
It was really, really
It was
beautiful.
gorgeous.
Yeah, really. We have some beautiful spots here in Arizona. And if you're watching outside of Arizona, let us know where you're watching from. We always love to see. We have folks all over the world who end up watching and finding us here on YouTube. And we're so grateful for you. We are.
We have someone talking about Chicago dogs. Thumbs up.
So good. Thumbs up. 2 thumbs up, actually.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and take a look again at our poll question this morning because it is getting so much chatter. This is on fire this morning. Let us know your thoughts in the chat as well. Has the economy impacted your 4th of July plans this weekend? K Turbo says he's going to Westworld. I think that's where Danielle was live this morning.
Big show that we actually sponsor.
And it's going to be inside.
Yeah.
I think we were giving tickets away in our 8 o'clock hour a few weeks
Yeah.
ago. And then Crazy Train YT says Tempe Town Lake tomorrow. There's something about the fireworks when they kind of mirror off the
it's
reflection
beautiful.
off water. It's really beautiful.
They've always done a great job there, too.
They really have. So 58% of you are saying, it somewhat has affected my plans. We're cutting down on travel and groceries, but we're still celebrating. The big numbers on YouTube. Oh, these numbers are
they're moving.
Yeah,
I love
they
the
are.
live voting. We're getting some yes, gas and airfare. 49% on YouTube said yes to gas and airfare prices, have me staying home. 19% say somewhat cutting down travel, groceries, still celebrating. 32% say not at all. I will pay anything to celebrate. And this is such a big birthday, such a big anniversary that I think a lot of people really will find a way to do something. We found
Absolutely.
discounted rates. We
Yeah.
found really good rates, and that's why we're going.
Yeah, that's important to do something, do anything just to celebrate.
I agree.
I'm totally blown away, though, by all of the number. 1.7 thousand votes on this YouTube poll. I mean, it is on fire. So
On a
let's go to
holiday.
Big D. Let's go to Big D. He's got some comments. Hey, buddy, good morning.
Good morning, guys. There are so many people who have commented on fox10phoenix.com/poll as well as on YouTube. Super Mustang 88 says 250 years. Darn right I'm celebrating. Left or right, I could care less about either, but this is the greatest country on earth. Matthew E8H2L says I'm still going to enjoy the holiday, but the current administration is too embarrassing to actually think of it as Independence Day. The founding fathers must be rolling over in their graves. Involuntarily Celebrate says my plans always were to lay in my pool, do some barbecuing, and watch the neighbors show off some fireworks. That's not affected by the economy either way. And Crusades Did Nothing Wrong says hamburgers are a luxury item now. What is there to celebrate? Really interesting comments on all sides. Keep them coming, everybody.
Love it. That's so great. We have a couple of you chiming in on the comments, and I think Lil Philosophy is saying a big hello to everybody. And a few people are saying, you know what, like Patrick Perry says, I'm staying home with family and just going to celebrate there and maybe have like a pretty good barbecue.
Growing up, how'd you guys celebrate 4th of July here in Arizona?
We just kind of like watched fireworks from home.
Yeah.
Either on TV. We didn't really go. I can't remember going out anywhere.
We would either celebrate with my uncle, who's actually having the party this year. So
pig roast.
It's kind of bittersweet, like just a nice way to celebrate. And he's a veteran. He fought in Vietnam, so he's really excited about this. But I remember my dad and I would ride our bicycles down to the big show.
Yeah.
We lived in the city called Schaumburg, so the city of Schaumburg would put it on.
Yeah.
We'd go lay in the grass and watch the fireworks. Good
Oh,
memories.
That's so awesome. And if you are maybe live over by South Mountain or the Phoenix Mountain Preserves, like maybe you're able to see some of those fireworks from, either, from your home or something like that.
And
or
the Diamondbacks
elevated.
have a show tonight
They
and tomorrow.
do.
There's so many choices out there.
There
a lot
are.
of free choices too.
I know there's so much
Yeah.
going on. We have a really cool interview coming up here in just a brief moment. But first, let's get to this story real fast. We're talking about the potential for a measles outbreak in one part of our state. There is a warning for people. This is in Pinal County. Health officials say an infectious measles patient visited a fast food restaurant, and the patient was at the Wendy's in Coolidge back on June 25th between 11 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. So it was June 25th for lunchtime, and they're thinking maybe the possibility is that somebody could have been exposed.
Sure. So if you think that you were there, you are advised to watch for symptoms. That includes fever or rash for the next 2 weeks, because that's how long it could take to develop. And anyone who was there who has not been vaccinated needs to contact the Pinal County Public Health Department. We have at least 100 measles cases reported in Arizona so far this year.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to go to this piece of video. Speaking of, we're going to go back to the 4th of July. There is a situation where they really just want to make sure throughout this week, Anita, you have fire departments, police departments kind of sharing the rules when it comes to fireworks, purchasing them, where to light them off. And it has changed. The city of Phoenix, they have a website, and you can put your address in, and it'll tell you whether or not there are restrictions in place. And coincidentally, my neighborhood is in there.
Oh, really?
So you can't even put them off at all.
Not even on the ground.
Not not even on
which
the
are
ground.
legal in Arizona.
Right.
Anything that you set off on the ground is legal. Anything that is up in the air is illegal. That is not, you can't set those off. I know the city of Chandler created a special patrol unit.
Yes.
So they will be out there answering the calls. So if someone calls and says, hey, Celeste is setting off fireworks up in the air,
Right.
they will come to your address. It's special so that anyone who calls 911 with a very serious emergency won't be put on hold because of that.
So we're going to chat with Abby here. Or we're going to wait? Okay. Oh, he's ready. James is ready. All right, let's get right to James here this morning. James Fuller, spokesperson for American Pyrotechnics Safety and Education Foundation. James, good morning. It's good to see you, my friend. Nice to see you.
I am so good to see you. I'm sorry it's a little delayed in the show, but I'm excited to be on. How are you today?
We're doing great.
Everything good?
I'm glad you're ready because we had Abby on standby, but she's going to wait for you so we appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much. Tell us, what do you do for work?
Sure. So I'm a safety expert, fireworks safety expert, and we work with the foundation that contributed and organized by the industry to get safety and education information in the hands of consumers. It's so important that you talked about it earlier on the show. You've got to be legal and you've got to stay safe and be responsible if you're going to use consumer fireworks. And so we really want to get that word out there. And so I'm a former regulator. I worked as a firefighter in New Mexico. And so I know these issues from lots of different lenses, from the safety and regulatory standpoint, the testing requirements to make sure the product is out there in the market is safe for consumer use. And then how do we instruct people on how to use those? That's a very large role of the regulatory agency, the Consumer Product Safety Commission, which I oversaw. In addition to that, being a former firefighter, I look at it from that risk and that potential for injury and potential for unintended fire. So it's been a wonderful role, and I get out there every year and promote safety messages on behalf of the industry.
Well, Celeste just mentioned in her neighborhood, for example, fireworks are not allowed of any kind. In the state of Arizona, if they are allowed, they have to be the ones that stay on the ground. But even a sparkler can cause a fair amount of damage to a person.
Well, that's right. A sparkler burns at 3,000 degrees. So that's why we tell, I'm a parent. And so I understand the magnetic pull of remembering back to that day that we were all holding sparklers running around, probably without any shoes on. But you need to be responsible. I'm not saying that children can't hold a sparkler, but they need to be aware enough to understand, just like if you were to give them a lighter, right? That device burns, and it can burn you, and it could create a third-degree burn on the touch. So you're right. And to Celeste's point, I love fireworks. I enjoy putting them off every year, but in my community, they're not legal. And so a really good rule of thumb is if you're kind of new, and we expect a lot of people being new to consumer fireworks this year because we're all celebrating our 250th, I want you to just take the time, go to where you're buying your product, and all of those retailers are going to give you really good advice on what's legal in their booth or tent and what's not legal, where and when you plan to use them. And that's a really easy way to make sure you don't get a knock on the door that's unintended.
Let's just take, for example, some of the families, they look on our city website, they say, oh, yeah, I'm allowed to use them. Let's talk about how to safely dispose of them. Because sometimes, you can't just throw them in the trash can, in the alley or in your yard, because they could still have a combustible, a possibility.
Oh, they do, and we have to know that. Being aware, there's not a fire department official in the country that wouldn't tell you, hey, we respond to hundreds of fires that are after hours from the dumpster, from a trash receptacle where fireworks was the initial ignition point. So it's going to sound funny, but we all know you can't have a good fireworks site if it doesn't have a flat surface that's got dry ground, concrete, or pavement. If you're going to use green grass, you have to take some extra precautions we can speak about. But you can't also have a good site if you don't have a water source nearby, right? You got to have a water source. So this sounds a little funny, but I want to tell everybody, if you're going to use consumer fireworks after your show, take a moment and give those fireworks a bath. Soak them down. Completely soak them down with either that 5-gallon bucket you brought along or that water hose you put that's at the firing off site. Soak them completely down, make sure they're completely cool to the touch, and then, and only then, are they prepared to be put in a trash receptacle.
You know, Shelly Vidal in our YouTube chat, she says, should always have a hose handy and buckets of water to shove everything in. Shelly, wise words, right, James? I mean, it's important to have something handy just in case.
That's right. It's be safe, not sorry. So be legal. Stay within the boundaries of what's legal in your community. Be respectful to your neighbors. We all love our four-legged friends in Arizona, so we don't want to have a pet go missing over fireworks. And we all know, I saw earlier in the chat feed, people are worried about their pets. So take precautions, secure your pet, not only Friday and Saturday, but even on Sunday night. You should expect and anticipate fireworks going off, even when they might not be legal. So a big rule of thumb, if they're crate trained, that's a great place for them. Lower the lights. If they're not crate trained, put them in your bedroom, in the laundry room, turn the lights down low, put on some music, give them their favorite
set the ambiance, right? Help them feel a little bit comfy.
We don't want you don't want to come back and open the door and, oh gosh, the dog's missing. What are we going to do?
James,
dogs here go missing.
Great information. Thank you so much. We will definitely be talking to you soon.
Have a great day, James. Thank you. Here's your mystery camera, everyone. All right, welcome on in here. And this is your mystery camera this morning. Thank you all for sharing part of your day with us. It looks like Thomas Favela is going to make some green chili cornbread. Yum, with manchego cheese. That sounds delicious.
Okay.
Paul Humphrey says Virginia. Lil Philosophy says Alabama. Be Kind Forever says Oregon. So we have a couple of really good guesses. What are your thoughts, Anita?
I don't know. This is a tough one. I'm saying like Idaho or Iowa.
Yeah, Iowa could be a good guess, too. I'm going to go with Missouri.
Okay.
And let's see what the answer is.
Okay, let me grab the paper. You guys ready?
We're ready.
Drum roll, please.
Da-da-da-da.
Oh, Wisconsin.
Oh, look at that. Which city?
Marionette.
Oh, Wisconsin.
I don't know where that is.
Sea Dog AZ called
Good job.
it. Wow, well done. I know. Paul Humphrey, Ron will be back on Monday. Don't worry. He's probably studying. Actually, he was back on Wednesday, but he's playing a hooky.
But he took a couple extra days to recoup.
Yes. All right. We're going to go ahead and talk about more 4th of July situations that are happening here. Let's chat with Abby. Of course, you know her from the air. And Abs, we were just chatting a moment ago about a situation that you and your family dealt with.
Yeah, I thought this would be good to come off of all the safety conversation because we're a bad example of what not to do. Well, every year my family we're huge on the 4th of July. We're here on like gathering our family, bring everyone together.
Are we talking like dozens of people?
Like we're up to like 100 people now.
Wow.
Oh, that's a party.
Yeah. So when I was younger, it was more low key and we'd always do fireworks. So my dad and my uncle, they have been lighting them off. They like to say that they're experts. But then at my lake house, we started doing them on the lake. So they would take our dock and put all of the fireworks on the dock, detach it, and bring it to the center of the bay.
Okay.
And everyone on the end of the bay is sitting outside of their house waiting for our show.
So they did the show for the entire
Yes, so we do it
community.
for all of our neighbors and everyone.
cool.
We
Wow.
have friends, family, friends of friends, like hundreds
Yeah.
of people.
I think you mentioned law enforcement who lived in the area.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to disclose where this is. It's definitely illegal.
Or who?
But so they're pros. They do this every year. In 2023, they had a little accident, and they actually, I don't want to throw under the bus, but my mother was just being a mother on the 4th of July, just keeping all the decor really cute.
Aww.
She put some of the
We love you, Mom.
Yes, we love her. She put the fireworks in a wicker basket, and then they put them on the dock.
This is before or after?
This is before.
Before.
And they go to light them off,
Yes.
and the wicker basket caught on fire, so all of the fireworks inside the basket went off at once.
Okay.
So if you
How
want
big
to
is
play,
this basket?
it was like this big.
How did they go off, though? Was there like a lighting
Well, do you want to watch the video? I included
let's
that. It's
take
under the sot.
under the sod? Okay. Is it the firework explosion?
It is.
All right, let's take a look at this.
Oh my gosh! And is that your dad diving
Yes.
off of the dock?
Yes, my dad and my uncle had to
Wow.
jump off.
Okay, so if I got this right, there's a basket with just
Yes.
some of the fireworks
So
in
here's
it.
all the fireworks.
Okay.
This was last year. We still continued it, even though they got a little injured. This
my
is
gosh,
how they
this is
put
a
them
lot
on
of
the dock.
fireworks.
Yes,
A lot of
and
fireworks.
we bring it out to the center of
What
the
state is
lake.
this in, Abs?
I can't say that.
Not the,
there's all the people
You're not
that-
kidding. The whole community.
You're
does
pleading
this.
the fifth. Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so some of the fireworks were in this basket, and when
Yes.
the first set started going off, a little spark hits the basket.
Exactly.
The basket starts burning, and then all the other fireworks on the little
Yes.
the boat ramp thingy start going off.
Yep.
Wow.
And so my dad and uncle had to both jump into the water to escape the fire because
Oh
the
my
docks, you saw
gosh.
it, it's not that big. So
That's
there was
really frightening,
I didn't
actually.
include the injuries, but there was some chunks taken out.
Oh, but everyone's okay.
They're okay. I mean, they're doing it again. They're sending pictures. They're there right now, leaving me out, of course.
Thomas Favela says, "Are the fish okay? Are the pescados okay?"
See, that's the beauty of doing it on the water. Everything's in the sky, and it stayed. The water kind of stopped the sparks,
Oh,
which was good.
my
but-
God.
Because that could have been, if you were doing that from the backyard, a house could have caught fire.
Oh yeah. That's why we do it out in the lake. We don't do it anywhere near the houses.
We
or-
need to call Dad. Like, what was that like for him jumping into the lake?
Well, I mean, I was not there this year. I was actually working.
That
so I
year?
got the phone call, and my mom's like, "Okay, don't freak out, but we're taking Dad and your uncle to the hospital." But she's like, everyone was silent because they hadn't come up from the water. They all thought that they exploded. They thought they died.
Oh my goodness.
So everyone started swimming in to get them, and then they came up, and my dad said he had to hold his breath for like over a minute because if he came up, all the fireworks were just right on top of the water.
wow. So it was probably the adrenaline, and
Oh, yeah.
he was like holding
Yeah.
his breath. But because otherwise, when you think about a minute, that's a long time.
Yeah, but you're in that
Fight or
survival
flight
state.
moment, survival, yeah.
Yeah.
So he went back the next year and did it.
Oh yeah, they're. Wait, click the next VO. This is all the fireworks.
I think that's.
It's just under.
Let me go back to these
VOs are page 2.
This is VOs right here. Stack firework.
Yep.
Let's look.
There they are. Those are all the fireworks.
Oh,
That's like
my
a professional
goodness.
show.
Yeah, I mean
That-
they do
like
it
if-
every year, so they nail them down. So normally they won't tip over. Like they're very efficient. I'll give them that. But it was just that one wicker basket that, you know, you got to be so aware of everything in your surroundings when you're lighting them off.
And this is a perfect example of what all the experts are talking about. You might be an adult, you might have experience, you might think you know what you're doing, but at any given moment, anything can go wrong.
Right.
And that, I think the 4th of July, I mean, we have some of the highest instances of emergency room visits of people, you know, literally blowing their hands off.
Yeah. And they were 2 of those visits.
Oh my gosh.
That's Dad right there?
Yep,
What's
that's
his
Oh
name?
my gosh, look at his stash.
Brent, and then my uncle's name is Mike.
Hi, Brent and Mike.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh.
Uncle Mike, Dad
So
Brent.
we'll have to recap how tonight's show goes. Hopefully,
Are they going to have you on FaceTime? They do, or like FaceTime? Yeah, they used to have you live.
yeah, I know. They always send videos, but
Should we call him now? I wish we had time to call
I
him.
know.
Put him on.
need
Why
to
didn't we
call
think of
Dad.
that?
my dad doesn't love the camera. He's like, I send a video of all the fireworks. He's like, do I have to say anything?
No.
You know what though? I mean, it was just like one of those weird accident type things.
Yeah.
you
And
know?
again, we've done it for as long as I remember. Ever since I was a kid, my dad and my
Yeah.
uncle did these shows, so we've never had any issues. So
We were talking about that in the meeting yesterday, and our managing editor, Jasmine, grew up in El Paso, and she said the same thing. It's like, do you remember lighting those fireworks and then just running for your life, waiting for them to explode?
Yes.
I mean, that's what we did as well at my Uncle Tony's. We would light up our own fireworks.
Yeah.
Yo, Uncle Tony.
Yo!
Well, we're glad that your dad and your uncle are
Yes,
okay
me too.
because that was pretty scary, I'm sure.
and
for
we're all
you.
glad that they pushed through their trauma and they continue to do it
Yeah.
because it brings everyone together
Oh,
and
good memories.
that's what it's about. Yeah.
Good memories,
Yep.
for sure. All right, Abs,
Thank you.
thank you for
Come
joining
back Monday
us.
with a
Oh, I'll have a
update.
recap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I almost said great story, but no, not
Yeah.
great story. It was not. But
a great lesson.
ending. It's a
Yeah,
great
great
ending.
lesson.
Great ending. All right, let's take you back to this story. Abs, thank you so much. We're glad everyone was okay. So let's talk about this story. There is a situation where there is some concern with Ebola, and we do have a doctor here, Mark Smolinski, Executive Director of Ending Pandemics Academy. Mark, good morning, and thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. You're here in Arizona, my friend, down in Tucson, yes?
Yes, good morning to you, and thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely.
Well, let's talk about the latest with Ebola because it was really a big topic in the news, and it seems like we're not talking about it as much, but that doesn't mean that the outbreak there is not significant.
Absolutely. So for those who are unfamiliar with the outbreak, this one is happening in the DRC, but they've had, 17 Ebola outbreaks in the DRC since we've really been keeping track of them. So it's not something new for them. What's new is the location that this occurred is where there's a lot of conflict and a lot of distrust with the government. And most importantly, it was a long delay in identifying this outbreak. And that's what caused this to grow to the level that it is currently. And that's the fear, is that it could get larger because we've lost track of probably tens of thousands of people who have been exposed to Ebola, and we haven't been able to contact all of those individuals to track them. So that's why, you may not hear it as much on the news. For them, this is something they deal with on a regular basis. And I think people remember the 2014 Ebola crisis, which was huge compared to what this one is currently, because that ended up being 30,000 cases and 11,000 deaths. But, we have to be very careful because this one could grow into that effect.
Can you share what is Ebola?
Yeah, sure. So Ebola is a virus. It's probably one of the scariest viruses out there. I remember as a young epidemiologist, well, I'm getting feedback on my end. I hope you're okay. I read The Hot Zone. If you remember The Hot Zone, that's really based on Ebola. And it's a really great medical mystery based on fact. If anyone wants to have a thriller to read in the summer, but learn a lot about Ebola, I'd highly recommend that. But it's a virus that, like many viruses that cause outbreaks around the world, they jump from animals to humans. And so the Ebola virus is thought to live in the fruit bats, in the forested areas of, in this case, the DRC. And it doesn't seem to infect them. They're carriers of the virus, but when they pass it on to a primate, like a chimpanzee or a monkey, which are sought after as a food source, then the hunter can get infected with Ebola, and once it enters into a human, it's highly contagious if you touch that human or any of their bodily fluids.
So we're going to take a quick break. Would you be able to hang with us for a quick minute here? We would love to chat with you and continue.
Absolutely.
Okay,
For
wonderful.
sure.
All right, let's go ahead and take a beautiful shot here of Chicago.
The bean.
The bean.
Wonder who polishes that bean.
I know. It's a piece of artwork there in the heart of Chicago. All right, we are going to take a quick break, but enjoy the sight. You can see lots of people spend a little bit of time outdoors on this 4th of July weekend. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. And it looks like a nice day there in Chicago. Where is this actually, Annie? Do you know?
Right off Michigan Avenue.
Oh,
Very,
wow.
very close to Navy Pier. It's all walking distance. You could walk down that Miracle Mile from there. It's really not terribly far from there. And then the Fox 32 station is just down a couple of blocks to the right. But it's a really neat spot, and you can take some really fun photos. I've been tracking the weather there. They have thunderstorm activity like every single day. Humidity's at like 5,000. But that's what you call a Midwest summer.
Is there are those restaurants and cafes underneath with the
They
umbrellas?
have like a little outdoor like cafe right there where you can pick up food. It's like more of a casual thing.
Reminds me of Bryant Park in New York.
Yeah.
Like they have kind of a similar thing. Yeah.
They have
Very
a little bit of
cool.
something everywhere there, but everything's within walking distance. And the art museum, as we called it, is very close by. So
Yeah.
it's just a hub.
Yeah.
Nice hub.
Really nice there. Hopefully everyone has a great 4th of July there this 4th of July, 250 America.
Gosh,
All right, let's go ahead and continue our conversation here this morning with Mark Smolinski, Executive Director, Ending Pandemics Academy on Ebola. Mark, as we look ahead, are there things that we as Americans need to do or be aware of, when it comes to Ebola and the fact that you mentioned earlier there was a lot of people that we seem to have lost track of who were diagnosed?
Yeah, so one thing working in our favor when tracking an infectious disease like Ebola is people are not thought to be contagious until they're symptomatic. So it's unlike some diseases where people can be passing on what we call in the prodrome period before they have symptoms, and then it's even harder to then you're getting behind the 8 ball with each one. So we're confident that eventually they will track these people, and likely most of these people they're trying to track are still within that area. And so they're being very careful with people exiting that area, international travels, and so forth. So the risk of Ebola in the United States is extremely low. I mean, unless someone is working there or had traveled there and came back, but then likely they would be highly quarantined here. And so people don't have to worry about Ebola. Well, what people should think about here in the U.S. is how many diseases are now spreading from animals to humans because we've changed our behavior and we've moved into habitats that ordinarily we may not have been in. So here in Arizona, for example, I was on the team that investigated hantavirus when that arose in 1993 from the deer mice. And that was the deer mice that when people went to their cabins in the Four Corners area and they swept them out on Memorial Day weekend, they inhaled the dry urine and feces of the mice. And, that was a terrible outbreak with almost a 50% mortality. But we were able to find out the cause and stop that. So the important message is to understand that diseases are emerging because of the environment, the animals, and the humans all coming together and interacting. And we have a lot of opportunity to be tracking that interaction and get better at predicting and preventing. And that's what our hope is in the places where we've worked. And then here in the U.S., we're helping at the university to build a community-based system so everyone can be part of tracking any kind of signal that could represent a new disease happening here.
As we are wrapping up our interview, tell us how people can get a hold of you, find all this information, because I'm sure a lot of people are very curious.
Yeah, sure. So we're a new institute at the University of Arizona, part of the Melanie and Zuckerman College of Public Health. So just check us out at the Ending Pandemics Academy. We'll keep update on activities that we're doing here locally and even internationally. And we always welcome interaction, and we hope to bring, more information to the community. So thank you for inviting me today. It's been a real pleasure, and happy birthday, America.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there you go. Happy 250,
Thank
right?
you.
Oh, thank you for your time. We appreciate it. We have another guest here in studio this morning, and a great interview here to bring you. And this is
Bill Reynolds.
Bill Reynolds. Bill, good morning to you.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, nice to see you.
Important topic because, and not to compare the two, but we talk a lot about our pets getting scared because of the fireworks.
Correct.
A lot of people don't realize that people themselves can have PTSD. Doesn't necessarily mean that they're veterans or associated with the military, but the sights and the sounds of what we think is a fantastic celebration can be very frightening for many people.
Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of veterans struggle with that. One of the hallmarks of PTSD is something we call hypervigilance, and you can also have what's like an easy startle reflex. So I've known veterans that have intentionally left town where they're having large fireworks celebrations in order just to not be exposed to that, because it can certainly trigger difficult memories from combat or any kind of military service they have.
How do you treat that when, at the behavioral health center where you work?
So I work at the Meadows, and what we do is we have a program there called Unbroken, and it's specifically for veterans and first responders. But we also have programs for that treats PTSD also for non-veterans, and it's a combination of things. There's specific types of therapies, such as cognitive processing therapy. There's something called acceptance and commitment therapy. We do something called EMDR, which is eye movement desensitization reprocessing. But a big part also of trauma treatment is just feeling safe, right? Yeah. Being in a low stimulus environment, being comfortable with your surroundings, and having skilled trauma therapists.
What are the triggers? And what are the signs and symptoms
of PTSD?
Yeah.
So everybody has different triggers. A lot of people, again, another hallmark of PTSD is something called intrusive thoughts. So these are random. These are thoughts that somebody can be walking and just having a good day, and a loud noise, for example, is a great
a firecracker.
Yeah, like a firecracker, and that can bring them back to Iraq or Afghanistan or any kind of combat situation that they're in. So hyperarousal is a term that we use also for PTSD, and those are people that are just constantly on edge and highly, highly anxious.
Take us through, if you can, and help us to understand what is going on when inside someone when they're dealing with that. It has to be very difficult.
It is. There's a sense of a lot of veterans feel that other people can't understand certainly where they're coming from, and many of us can't. But everybody has different levels of PTS. Some have relatively mild symptoms, but some people have more severe. And I treated a Vietnam veteran several years ago that was basically living in constant flashbacks. A flashback, sometimes I think that term is misused, but a flashback is actually reliving the experience. And this one veteran I had, he thought he was in Vietnam a lot of the time. So it took a lot of therapy with him. We had to dial in his medications appropriately until he can get to a much safer place.
For people who are at home watching, perhaps they have military experience, maybe they're just recently back, or anything else, any other trauma. How do they know what they're experiencing is actually PTSD? Like, do you get a physical symptom? Is it a thought? Is it both? What can, and I know they're probably individual, they're different to each individual, but is it like an anxiety? Is it, are you sweating physically?
A lot of people do experience that. A lot of people have panic symptoms, but PTSD used to be classified as an anxiety disorder. It's not anymore. It's in a sort of a different category, but people frequently describe to me that heaviness in their chest, that just feeling of alienation and distance from other people, like they can't, really relate in real time to people. And again, nightmares, right? A lot of veterans struggle with very, very poor sleep. And depression as well. We know that depression and PTSD are often linked like this.
And no sleep can just exacerbate the issue.
That ruins, everything if you're not getting sleep.
This is kind of a side topic on that, but is there does health insurance cover all of this? Because sometimes I feel like they don't always cover these types of things. But in this case, do they now?
I think, it depends upon the insurance, right? There's many different types of insurance out there. Like at the Meadows, we take Blue Cross Blue Shield, which is widely accepted. But most insurance companies should cover mental health care, and I know that the VA also is a big resource for our veterans.
Is there a fix to the PTSD? Can you be cured of it, or is this something most people live with forever, but they learn how to live with it?
You hit the nail on the head. Most people learn to manage their symptoms. Over time, certainly the severity of the symptoms can decrease. But the goal is, there's no magic cure per se. There's no magic pill out there. I mean, we use medication sometimes to help with the depression and the anxiety, but learning to live with it and manage the symptoms is really the goal.
I did a story, it was a couple of years ago, it was on medicinal mushrooms. And right now I think the state has allocated some funds to initiate kind of like a study, a pilot program of some sort to work on that. Your thoughts on that? I actually did interview a couple of different veterans who said that it helped them with those type of issues. What are your thoughts on some of the research, if you've read through some of it?
I know, so there is a lot of positive research around what we call the psychedelics, and there's something called Ibogaine. There's a popular movie out now on one of the streaming channels that showcased veterans doing that. I guess my personal thing is that for people that struggle with addiction and then giving them something that's potentially addictive is kind of like, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And I've seen mixed results. I know some people have had phenomenal results with, remarkable reduction in symptoms, but I've known a couple of my patients that went down to Mexico and had one of those treatments and they actually got worse.
Oh,
So
wow.
I think it's not a magic bullet. It's still being studied. I know the VA is doing some really exciting studies right now.
Different treatments, different medications work for different people.
Absolutely.
That's just pretty much how it is.
Yeah.
Okay. How do people find you?
People, the Meadows. So the Meadows has been around for 50 years, if you didn't know that. Our main campus is up in Wickenburg. It's a beautiful treatment facility. Used to be a dude ranch back in the day. You can go to the website, the Meadows, and we also have an outpatient center here in Scottsdale and also around the country.
Love it. True Western location,
Yes,
right?
it's a beautiful campus.
It's a gorgeous up in that part of
I
Arizona.
used to drive from here to Las Vegas all the time, so I know where you're at.
You know Wickenburg, man. Yeah.
I know
gorgeous.
Wickenburg. Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming
Happy
in.
4th of July. Be safe.
We appreciate it. There is a lot, of course, to be grateful for when you think of, 4th of July, family, friends, great food, things like that. Let's also talk a little bit more about food and what folks are going to be cooking up. And we're going to take you to many of you in the chat have said, like Burger Boy said, Burger Cook Off.
Of course.
And the FTT fam is the judges. Wow. He's maybe like throwing it out to all of you to be judges this morning. And Burger Boy says it's about to get real up in here. So thank you all for joining us here in our 10 o'clock hour. We so appreciate it. More to come this morning with Anita and
Annalisa's coming in.
All right.
We've got some animals. We're talking to DPS. It's going to be a great half hour.
Wonderful. Have a great 4th of July. I'll see you at 11:30 this morning.
Hello.
Jam-packed show.
Jam-packed show
As
with
Ty
some
likes
fun
to
guests.
say. Are you ready? We have a lot of fun guests, you guys. But first, we have a Friday Funny.
Okay,
A soccer Friday Funny, because I had a couple written down earlier
In the newscast.
and I only got to share one with you. Why do soccer players do so well in school?
Oh gosh,
They
that's a
know
good one.
they know how to use their heads.
Oh, that is funny. That's a good one. I think I like that one.
I like
better
that
than
one the
first
best.
one.
Yeah. That was tough. We're going to get to I can't talk. It's been a long week. We're getting to what we're watching, you guys. So top story number 1 is our firefighter who is being brought back home. Big story that we have been following. Very tragic. Fallen firefighter returns home. Dignified transfer for fallen wildland firefighter Nick Hutcherson, taking place in Phoenix yesterday. Only 27 years old, Glendale native and member of the Kaibab National Forest crew, was killed while battling a wildfire on the Colorado-Utah border.
Yeah, this was such a sad story. I know we've been covering it. We had some follow-ups this story, and I think Danielle this morning said that they were going to have do a type of honoring for him where somebody with the Phoenix Fire Department will stay with him every single hour until he's laid to rest, which is really special, I think.
It is. It's pretty emotional and it's very difficult. And this tragedy was coming right off the hills as we've been talking about the Yarnell Hill fire. So Hutcherson was one of 3 firefighters, part of a special team who died while trying to shield themselves from flames with tent-like shelters. They were overcome. So a serious accident team is investigating the deaths. And then next week, the family will have a public viewing as well as a celebration of life. So we will keep everyone posted. We're going to head right over to number 2, our story that we are watching, threats against a local sheriff. This is kind of wild, right?
Yeah.
So we have a man accused of posting to social media threats to kill Maricopa County Sheriff Jerry Sheridan. He's been arrested.
Yeah, I think he made a post on X, and he was even asking President Donald Trump for presidential immunity in order to carry this out. So, this is one of those things where things worked out as they should, and a plot was foiled, or,
Yeah, taken into custody yesterday, and he now faces misdemeanor charges of threatening and intimidating. I feel like these days, this day and age, everything that goes to social media, pretty much anything you do caught on camera, you're not going to get away with stuff like that.
No. And on X, that's a scary platform for me, so I just like to stay away.
Yeah. Number 3, you guys, we want to talk about this. We've been talking about Nancy Guthrie, 84-year-old, went missing January 31st in Tucson. We talked about a couple of ransom notes, but we also talked about a California man who was accused of writing a fake ransom note to Nancy Guthrie's family. He was in federal court in Tucson yesterday. He pled guilty. His name is Derek Kaiyai, and he faced several charges of transmitting a demand for ransom with intent to abuse, threaten, or harass a person.
Yeah, this one just breaks my heart. Glad also that he's going to face justice in this. Yeah.
So he is expected to just get 10 years probation. So it doesn't look like he's serving time. That sentencing will be September 10th. And then he is also expected to check into a residential addiction therapy treatment facility. So maybe a little bit more going on there than, we might be aware of.
All right, this next one, it's all about health and measles, which has been a big talker in recent years.
Yeah. So we had a case of the measles, you guys. Let me put that back up. And this is in Pinal County, and this was at a local restaurant there. So someone was at the restaurant eating, and there's a lot of concern there that they may have spread the disease.
Right. So that patient was at the Wendy's in Coolidge on June 25th between 11 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. So basically, health officials are asking anyone who may have been there at that time or even gone to that Wendy's restaurant to watch out for symptoms, which could include a fever or a rash for the next 2 weeks, and especially if there was somebody that was not vaccinated, to keep an eye on any potential symptoms. I guess so far this year in Arizona, there have been 100 cases of the measles.
Yeah, so they're definitely talking about that. Keep an eye out for those symptoms, couple of weeks. Do you know anyone applying for jobs?
Oh, I know a few, and I think it's been a little tough, actually.
A little tough for them?
Yeah.
Well, the latest jobs report is out. You want to talk about that one?
Yeah, so the latest jobs report basically says that there were 57,000 new jobs added last month, which was well below what experts had predicted at 110,000 is what the economists initially predicted. So according to the Labor Department, the unemployment rate actually dropped to 4.2% due to more people leaving the workforce entirely, actually.
I think that's tough, number one, for people graduating. You know, we're kind of in that season where a lot of people just graduated and they're looking and they're hopeful. And then we have, you know, a tough report for people who maybe want to move up, want to move on to something different. Maybe they want to move out of state. So those aren't numbers that you ever want to see.
I know somebody who's trying to get a job and he works in graphic design. And it's hard because of AI, because so many people just use AI to make graphics
instead. Yeah.
So he's having a tough
Don't
time.
get me started on the AI. Don't get me started.
I know, that's a whole nother episode.
Yeah. Okay, guys, so we love sharing what you're reading on this day. And so we're talking about our top web stories of the day, and those are going to be popping up here shortly. Dave, do you know where I could find those images?
I think page 2 or 3, right?
Page 2? Okay, here we go. Top story number 1. You want to take this one?
Yeah, so a former Goodyear therapist accused of sexually abusing a teenage girl. That's one of the top stories people are following on our website. A 27-year-old Goodyear man accused of abusing a 16-year-old girl on July 1st. And police say the alleged victim came forward to report the abuse, which occurred 2 years ago during counseling sessions. The suspect, who's identified as Robert Macklin on your screen right there in that web story, is now facing 6 felony charges.
Number 2 story that you are reading on our website, the body of an Arizona firefighter, which we were just talking about, who died while battling the Utah-Colorado wildfire, returns home, just 27 years old. So we're going to keep you guys posted and get you more information about the funeral next week. And number 3.
All right, the Arizona Attorney General is investigating a Sun State pool as there's more complaints coming. Sun State Pools, I should say, that company. This is something we had mentioned in our morning newscast as well. It's a Scottsdale-based company who's now facing a ton of complaints for either not finishing the work or doing some pretty shoddy work. So they've actually been revoked of their license following over 30 complaints. So this is a tough one for customers. They're worried that they're not going to get their money back, but there is a recovery fund. So if you may be a part of this, definitely look into that.
Some of the images are wild. The messes in the backyard. We had to redo a portion of our pool because the plumbing leaked. And it's just not something you want to deal with, let alone having to deal with where's my money, where's my contractor. Let's talk about what's happening with the DPS and when you're out on the roadways. I thought this was really interesting. Good morning. It's still morning. I can't keep track anymore, Lieutenant Colonel Dave Davin Bird, yes, joining us. Thank you. Arizona ranks 6th for fatal nighttime crashes. 53.2% of its crashes occurring in the middle of the night. You guys have to respond to those with DPS.
Yes, ma'am. Statewide, our troopers, day and night, state highways and interstates, and then throughout our communities, helping our local law enforcement partners respond to those tragedies.
And for this weekend, a holiday weekend, what do you guys think approaching a holiday weekend like this, or how do you prepare for something like that?
So we prepare for it with our troopers, our dispatchers, our highway operations staff, right? And really, it's almost everybody's working through the entire weekend. So we attempt to get them time with their families so they can celebrate the holiday as well, but it's really all hands on deck to try and keep our community safe. For our community members, right, it comes down to choices. We really, really want smart choices in how we're going to behave before we get in the car that keeps us safe once we're in the car.
So maybe put that phone down, don't drink and drive, things that seem pretty simple.
Choose to put your seatbelt on, choose to put your phone down, choose to drive a little bit slower, right? It's the choices.
What also scares me about this, I know this is nighttime fatal crashes, but if you're a pedestrian, I just did a silent witness as well, talking about a pedestrian who was hit, but you know, if you are hopefully not walking out at nighttime, but if that does happen, I mean, what are ways to stay safe in there?
We have a problem with pedestrian crashes here on our state highways and interstates. In fact, just last night, we had a pedestrian killed on one of our state highways in a fatal crash. And it's really, these are controlled access highways for the most part. There's no reason to be out there. If you break down or you find yourself on the highway for some reason, we need to get you off there as quickly as possible to keep you safe.
Right.
We have a couple minutes left. Let's talk about the Arrive Alive campaign. This is going to be ongoing, not just over the holiday weekend.
Yeah, it's a 5-year focused highway safety initiative statewide. DPS, in partnership with Department of Transportation and all of our local law enforcement partners across the state, are really focusing on driving down those fatal crashes, those serious injury crashes. You gave some of the statistics, right? In 2024, we were the second worst state in the nation with fatal crashes across Arizona, right? And so this focused effort is really focused. It's different than things we've done in the past. It's really focused on the choices that we were just talking about. We've got to change the choices.
You held a press conference a couple of days ago, and I can't quote you exactly, but I think you said something along the lines of these are all preventable. That really resonates with a lot of people.
Yeah, when we look at Arizona data and nationwide data, 90 to 95% of these crashes are preventable. It comes down to driver choices for one of the drivers involved in the crashes. So almost entirely preventable.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think about also, those lives lost in those fatal crashes, but also their families. So I'm sure they're really appreciative that you guys are doing this.
We have a lot of the families involved from the victims in these crashes who stay in touch with us over the years, who come back, right? They're very passionate about it. They want to contribute. It's very tragic.
Very important, I think, for people to know you guys aren't the bad guys. Yes, you might pull people over for speeding or for distracted driving. Put that cell phone down. I can't tell you how many times I say that to people when I'm passing them. Put the cell phone down. But you guys are really out there to protect all of us, to keep us alive.
The same troopers who are writing citations for speeding too fast or arresting people for DUI are the exact same troopers who've made the death notifications to family members. And so it's personal, right? In a real way, they've experienced the tragedy firsthand in doing that. So, yeah, we just want better choices. We don't want to write tickets. We don't want to take you to jail.
You want everyone alive.
Exactly.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Great info.
Thank you.
You're going to play along because our next little segment is a fun little quiz. We're going to talk about... What year is it, you guys? Are you ready for this question? Mm-hmm. Are you ready? We have about a minute to guess. There it is. Oh, ooh. Which year, Lieutenant Colonel, I'm sure you know what Pinterest is.
Yes.
You do?
I've heard of it.
You're married, so.
Yes.
Which year did Pinterest debut? Do you guys want to take any guesses? So this is like a social media type of site.
My Pinterest, the things that are pinned are from so long ago, like they're not even my
Is it still active?
Yes, but it's like old, like I was maybe, I don't know, like 15 being like, this for my wedding.
Oh, so, well.
Maybe like 2009?
I was going to say 2012.
I was going to say sooner, maybe 2005-ish.
Okay.
But I really don't remember. So we're going to take a 2.5-minute break, folks, and we'll be right back. Thank you again for coming in. We appreciate it, you guys. We'll be right back.
kidding.
You get bragging rights, girl. You get
Ooh,
bragging
I'll take
rights. So, do you still have your original Pinterest page?
I don't even know if I would remember my password and can go in there. I don't even know. But I did, like, maybe 2 years ago, think, like, I was able to get in, and it's just so outdated.
I still go on Pinterest though every day.
Yeah, it's
they
great.
actually have really good recipes.
I could see that.
I go on there for recipes, and we did have a guest from Outlaw Dynamo. They said 2009.
Oh, there you go.
Bragging rights as well.
Yeah, you get that too.
Are you guys ready for the cuteness? And yeah, Joaquin, you're adorable.
I was gonna say.
We are talking about spaghetti.
I was like, there's no animal here. It's just me.
This is spaghetti.
This is spaghetti.
Helping us announce that you guys are bringing something back at the Phoenix Zoo that's pretty popular.
We are bringing back Winter in July. And buddy, don't jump off.
Hi.
Yeah, if he goes around, just let him. He won't bite.
I know, that's okay.
If he does, it's because he loves you.
Oh my
But yes,
goodness.
let's talk about the thing.
Okay,
Winter
wait, no,
in
come
July.
get him, come get him. I'm scared.
Should I grab him?
I'm a little scared.
I was like,
I'm not afraid of animals, but for some reason I feel like the little rodents can get us to bite.
Wait till I show you what they do to rabbits. No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
No,
little Jack.
Winter in July, winter in July. So 50 tons of snow for people to play in the middle of summer at the Phoenix Zoo.
Oh, how fun. So the last time I visited with you guys was a couple weeks ago. We were doing bubbles.
Yeah,
And that was really fun too.
you just want to
I know
explore.
he just wants to he just wants to
scared.
get down and get around.
So yeah, these guys are big explorers and they're super playful. And you guys have a lot of things in the studio. I would just let him go, but he can squeeze into the
Well,
tiniest of
see,
objects.
And that's my concern, Joaquin, because I'm looking at like the ceiling tiles and I'm looking at all the cabinets we have here. And
So
the
is he.
crevices. So if he crawled into something, how tough would it be to find him?
He would live here now.
Yeah,
you guys would adopt him.
How would we feed him and give him water and everything?
Well, he'd find water. And feeding him, you just go to the pet store, get him some ferret food. However, when these guys were originally domesticated, they were rodent control. So if a rat were to ever find itself in the studio, which I hope is not the case, he would eat it. Oh, don't give me that
we
look.
love actually to keep spaghetti.
Oh, Joaquin, we would love to keep spaghetti.
All right, Spaghetti's going to be here for the weekend as pest control.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so winter in July, it's a bunch of snow. Tell us more about it, how people can get involved and come out.
So over at the Phoenix Zoo, July 11th from 7 a.m. to 11, people can just come down to the zoo for a discounted rate too. It's going to be $25 for folks to come down. So you get to enjoy the Phoenix Zoo and everything that it has. But of course, snow. Like we're making snow come out of the sky here, guys. It's going to be super fun. The animals are also going to get some awesome ice treats. Spaghetti will probably get to be thrown into a snow pile. Yeah, these guys are super playful. So we'll see if he can find his snacks in that snow pile in there.
I was out a couple years ago. I don't even remember when, and I think I got the pleasure of hosing down the elephants.
Yeah.
Because it was really hot, and man, did they love it. I mean, they were just, obviously there was a barrier. I was on the other side of the fencing, but they loved it. How do the animals cope with the heat here?
So most of the animals we have at the park are from warmer environments, but that doesn't mean that we want to necessarily just keep them in that warm environment. So a lot of them have air conditioning, misters, or like you said, some of them get hosed down to those that like it. They get those ice treats, fans, a lot of shade. It is a blast. And of course, a lot of love. That's the most important piece of it all.
It's also enrichment for them, right? Because I've seen so the orangutans will get a big, huge block of ice with maybe like fruit in there or toys. They enjoy munching on that ice. He is a rascal.
He's just going over it.
Spaghetti's a rascal.
Well, Spaghetti's going to live up here now.
Okay.
Spaghetti's overstimulated with everything we have in the studio.
Stay right there, buddy.
we go.
But yes, it is behavioral enrichment for all the critters out there because it's a whole different new thing for them to touch and play with. It keeps them nice and cool. Spaghetti's chill.
Spaghetti is not going to tire.
Literally like a little noodle. Like you just fold his body.
He is.
And he's just so slithery.
You know, this thing has bones, believe it or not. Look at that.
Wiggle,
Can you guys see that?
wiggle.
There's bones in this creature.
That is so wild. Okay, let's talk about these he's a rodent. He's in the rodent.
So here's what's funny. You look at him and you go rat. He actually is more closely related to otters, skunks, and other mustelids, weasels. So no, he eats rats. Nothing to do with rodents, though.
He eats rats.
He eats them. He's pro
He
eating
will eat
rat.
a rat. You weren't kidding.
No, yeah, that is their thing.
What else do they eat?
They'll eat small mammals, so bigger ones will catch rabbits, like different animals like them could
I
take
thought
them
you
out.
were kidding.
Birds.
I thought he was
lizards,
a vegetarian like me.
Eggs, but no, their big thing is eating rats and little mice.
Wow. And where are they from?
They're domestics. So they're bred here in the States now. But originally they're from Europe.
Do you want to put him in his kennel, or is he?
No, not at all. They're
Okay,
cool.
I just, you know.
Is he like are they lovey?
They're extremely lovey, but they're also very playful. We have 2 more of them back at the park, and they play with each other. And when we get them going, they all start jumping around, and they go into this big pile. It's called the war dance.
They don't get tired, do they?
So they sleep about 14 hours a day.
Oh.
But when they're awake, they're
Yeah,
awake.
they're like, I guess if I took a 14-hour siesta, I would want to roll. I would want to roll the couple of hours that I'm awake as well. How long do they live?
About 10 years on average. Spaghetti will live 20. That's the deal I made with him.
Oh, how old is Spaghetti now?
They're little. I think they're just under 3 years, him and his siblings.
Just a baby. No
He's
wonder
just a little
so
man.
That face is so sweet.
Hey, he says bad things. We're keeping away from the mic.
Spaghetti has a potty mouth, you
He
guys.
didn't pick it up from me.
So how, I know some animals will mate for life.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the little ferrets. And
You're saying-
do they get married and have babies? How does this work for them?
You know, they're not really big on having a nice, beautiful couple. I think you can have the dads involved when it comes to the domestic ferrets. But normally in the wild, I don't believe that they're very lovey-dovey.
Okay, they just do their thing.
They
and
just
then
do their thing.
how long do the baby? Oh, is he?
What are you telling me? He's feeding me my lines.
Okay.
You are lovey-dovey.
Oh,
don't say that. That's
don't
gross.
say How long will they stay with mama before they're out on their own?
I think they're pretty much mature by a year old or less than that.
They're out of there, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, wait. So winter in July, I have a quick question about this. So it was gone for 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a 7-year hiatus. How are you guys able to bring it back, or what made you want to bring it back?
So we want more people to come to the zoo in the summer, right? Because we're a nonprofit, so we need folks to come down here. That way they can enjoy the animals and help us feed them. Because this guy he requires a lot, but not just him. Obviously,
A lot of rats
our
and a lot of
lions,
mice.
our rhinos. The zoo is being funded by our guests. So we need folks to come out there. We know it's a big ask to get folks to come out in the summer.
Yeah.
So how do we make that summer more engaging for everyone? We make snow. We do all these
Yeah.
cool things for folks to have fun and support us.
Some programming during the slow season.
For sure. And you mentioned hosing down the elephants. Well, since we don't have elephants anymore, we do have our rhino, Chudy. He is who we're going to be hosing down this
cute.
time around.
Oh, how fun.
Exactly. And he loves it too. He may not be as extravagant as the elephants going crazy.
He's also fantastic.
but he is the
though.
cutest big giant dog in the world. He is a rhino, but he is a doggy in
I
my
love
head.
me
That is so, but
rhinos.
don't get,
Yeah.
They can be dangerous, right?
Chudy would hurt me, I think, but he wouldn't mean to. He just doesn't really know where things are. He's a 5,000-pound
yeah.
rhino, so he'd probably just knock into me without knowing. We still do protective contact. There's a barrier between
Sure.
us to be safe, but I don't think there's an evil bone in Chudy's body.
You guys also have summer hours.
We do have our summer hours, so we're going to be open at 7 for the general public, and we close the zoo at 1. The event in that day is actually going to end by 11. We end it with Chudy's big hosing, but folks are welcome to stay there, of course, till 1 o'clock until we close.
Okay, so when is this happening?
This is July 11th from 7 to 11. Remember, discounted tickets, so purchase them online. It's going to be a big blast. Yeah, purchase them at phoenixzoo.org. Help support the Phoenix Zoo. Help support Spaghetti here.
He is so sweet. I wish I wasn't afraid of his little teethers.
Yeah,
But
you
they're
want to
not
see them?
bad. I mean,
Want to
It's
show them
more
teeth?
just like little nails, or I just don't trust myself. Like, he would squirm right out of my arms and be here forever.
he's
Wanna
very
find out?
sweet.
He's going to wiggle a lot, but he's not going to get hurt, I promise.
Okay.
Oh, you're doing it.
Spaghetti forever.
Hi, Spaghetti.
Oh, his arm is a little trapped.
Okay, he's like, nope, I'm done, I'm done. Joaquin, thank you so much. We so appreciate. Okay, you're gonna hang out. You can come hang out.
Oh, wait, he's chill now.
He's like, no, I like you now.
Now he's tired.
Thanks
Now
for
he's
having us.
tired.
Bye, everyone.
Oh, thanks, Joaquin. We appreciate it. We've got some talkers. You can hang out if you want, Joaquin.
Absolutely. Spaghetti,
me
don't
see.
say anything bad.
Okay, so let me see if we have the vault video. Dave, do you know where I'd find the talker videos?
Page 1.
Page 1, VO8. Here we go, you guys.
Now he's just chilling.
Okay, look at this. This is pretty cool. Young bald eagle taking flight for the first time. Just in time for the 4th of July. Her name is Luna, and she launched from her nest at Big Bear Lake, California. We've been watching this nest for a long time. Flying over a tree. Then her dad is named Shadow. She waited for him. Family of eagles went viral last year after webcams in their nest recorded the moment when the eggs first hatched. Now that is true patriotism.
I love that. I know. know what? Perfect timing too around the 4th of July. I love this one.
Yeah. Joaquin, you guys have eagles at the
We
zoo?
have 2 bald eagles.
They're so amazing.
Yeah, they're rescues. They hurt their wings out in the wild, so we take care of them now. Fun fact about eagles, though, when it comes to all raptor species, the girls are bigger ones. So when you see 2 eagles like that side by side, the bigger one's
Really?
pretty much always going to be
Does
the
that
mama.
mean the girl is tougher?
I think so, that's for sure.
We like that.
Yeah.
Hey, did you guys watch this unfold?
Oh my goodness. Yes. I mean, we've been talking about it a lot as part of our poll question as well.
Did you watch
see
it,
this?
Joaquin?
I mean, personally, I would have done that myself, but, I was too busy working. But that's not so tough. Come on, guys. I can climb that.
We
We're
know
gonna
you
see
can.
next up there.
Right. Joaquin would actually be on the top of that antenna right there.
We learn a lot from our monkeys.
Yeah. See? So this couple, they're basically like known to do this from Russia. He gets down on one knee and he proposes, and now his father is saying, you know what? They're already married.
That's what's
this
so
is all
crazy.
part of a stunt.
I can't, but like, is it worth the stunt to now face charges and get arrested? Because they were arrested.
They were arrested. They have a slew of charges, but they walked out. They didn't plea. And here's the thing. I've heard that they make money doing this. Like, they have a lot of... She's got millions of followers on Instagram. Yeah, so it actually is interesting because that antenna was powered up, so they had to power it down, I read, and that's why it took 30 minutes for the cops to be able to go up there. So I wonder if they knew just how dangerous it was, but officials said that they believe the two may have observed building employees and used a worker entrance to get around the screening
Oh, my
process.
goodness.
But they're already married, so we'll see if that's true or if it's not true. Okay, rotisserie chicken. I don't know if we have video for rotisserie chicken, you guys, but we don't have video. Do you do rotisserie chicken?
Spaghetti does.
Spaghetti does.
A little too much.
Spaghetti does.
Everybody goes to Costco for rotisserie chicken, and they're saying Sam's Club is
Is where
number
it's at.
one.
It's a good source of protein, I'll tell you that much right now. So instead of if you're going to the gym and you want to get jacked, rotisserie chicken has always been like the secret of just getting a natural protein
Yeah.
source.
So
Nice
do you
and
at the
easy.
zoo just buy rotisserie chickens and then just eat it?
No, we do get special, unique treats for them, though.
Oh, okay,
I actually
okay.
just recently came back from the grocery store and I bought whipped cream and chicken broth for our lions.
Mixed together?
No,
Oh.
kinda. So we froze.
I don't know. I don't know how that would go.
We
I
froze
like
the
whipped
chicken
cream.
broth into like an ice block to keep them cool, and then we topped it with whipped cream.
I love
Little
that.
sweet treat.
We have 5 seconds left. One more time when the big event is.
So July 11th, say it's spaghetti at 7 to 11. Hang
Happy
out,
4th of
jump in
July.
the snow.
Go hang out with the zoo with snow. Bye.
He says bye too.
Welcome back, everyone. 11:30 this morning, and we're going to finish strong here on this July 3rd. Crystal joins here in studio. Crystal, it's good to see you.
Hi, good to see you.
Thank you for joining.
Yeah, I don't often host the show. I'm usually just like a weather guest star. So
I know.
This
This is going to be great. Happy 4th of July, everyone. Thank you for joining. So we have a lot to get to here this morning. We do have a great interview about affordable cars that are, in fact, disappearing, and maybe how to help you land one of those vehicles.
which is stressful. My husband just a few years ago got a new car, and like the process took a long time to find something that we wanted and that felt like the price was fair. It's
and to find somebody, I think, that you can trust.
Yeah.
You know, that you can trust. And so let's go ahead and bring that interview right in. We have Ray Shefska. Ray, good morning to you. Thank you for joining.
Hi, Ray.
Well, thank you for having me, and good morning to you guys as well.
Happy 4th of July, my friend. Help us here. Help us. We're trying, if someone's trying to land an affordable car, sometimes it can be a little stressful. I mean, we're trying to find somebody we can trust. Are they disappearing? What's happening here?
Well, the manufacturers figured out during the chip shortage right after the pandemic that Americans would spend way too much money for cars, and so they stopped producing the more affordable versions of the cars and are now just kind of producing the higher profit margin vehicles. And well, it's positively impacting their bottom line, but negatively impacting consumers out there.
So I'm curious, obviously right now people are definitely feeling the pinch between gas and everything else. So are they responsive to that? Like if people are people not buying as many vehicles right now, or is it just like everybody's just saying, okay, I don't get a car for $20,000 anymore, I'm going to pay more?
Well, the $20,000 cars really don't exist anymore. It's such a small percentage of the offerings, it's almost non-existent. What manufacturers and dealers are doing today in order to make an effort to make things more affordable is to continue to extend loan terms. The average loan term today is over 75 months, and over 20% of loans today are at 84 months. And banks are now starting to offer 96-month car loans.
You know, that's wild, right? When you think of 60 months, that is a long time. Ray, you are the CEO of Car Edge. What do you do? What is your company about?
Our company is a consumer advocacy organization that helps to level the playing field for customers when it comes to navigating the car buying experience. And one of the things that we've done is we developed AI agents that can anonymously negotiate on a customer's behalf.
Oh, wow.
So the customer, so the customer doesn't have to do any of the work, and the AI agents, which are unemotional, will just continue to fight for the best possible price.
Oh my goodness!
And one of the outcomes of that is we've done over 100,000 communications, and we've been able to rate dealerships as far as how transparent they are, based on their offerings of a complete out-the-door price breakdown.
Oh, very interesting. So one of the questions that has been posed is, so does it make more sense now to buy used, or is it buying new? Is it doing, I feel like a lot of people are leasing now instead.
Yeah.
Is there one that's better than another?
Well, right now, used car values have gone up about $1,350 just in the first 6 months of this year. And used wholesale prices have gone up $3,600. So as new car prices continue to go up, and the average asking price today just cracked $52,117
Oh my gosh.
on the new car side of things, because new car prices continue to go up. That's dragging used car prices upwards as well. So it's just becoming more and more difficult for people to find an affordable option.
You know, it's fun. And Thomas Brown says, "Gone are the days of the Chrysler K car." You know, what was your first car, and how much did you pay for it, Ray?
Oh my God! The first car I ever bought was a 1967 Chevrolet Camaro.
Ooh,
Okay,
look
cool
at
car.
you.
Yeah, I paid $1,200 for it, and that was a lot of money at the time.
Yeah, absolutely. You were the cool guy on
Wait,
campus,
what about
I
you?
think.
First car?
Mine was a $1,500 Honda Civic, 1985. No air conditioning in Arizona. So Crystal and I are both from Arizona,
Yeah.
Arizona girls. Can you imagine driving in the summer? And I just rolled those windows down, and girl, I was just happy to have four wheels. You know what I mean? What about you, Crystal?
Well, I had to deal with my parents that if I could pull off like perfect grades, straight A's through high school, that they would get me a car. So they went through with that deal, and they got me a Ford Mustang.
Nice.
Which was very cool. I felt very neat. It wasn't like brand new, but it was still super. It was an awesome first car.
Yeah.
And I used that thing until it died on the road.
Right? It's like, and I think that's what maybe we're going to find is people just using their cars as long as they can, right? And trying to care for them over the course of time. In the YouTube chat, if you guys want to throw in, like, what was your first vehicle? How much did you pay for it? Out of curiosity. There's always these stories that align too, I think, with those first vehicles, right?
We all have good memories.
I know we do. Ray, when we look ahead to helping consumers purchase vehicles, that AI component is so important, right? Because it's hard to be a negotiator with some of these car salesmen and women, for that matter.
It is. And one of the wonderful things about the AI agent is it's dispassionate. It just knows to keep hammering the dealership for the best possible prices. And it's very good at what it does.
Listen to this. Linda Monterth, she just posted in the chat. She said she paid $1,200 for a 1969 Plymouth Satellite.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah. Those cars it's hard to find those cars these days, like older vehicles, they're vintage, or it's hard to find the parts. You know, what are your recommendations to car buyers these days?
Well, honestly, today, I think the best thing for consumers is discipline. Understand what your budget is, what you can really afford. Understand that your needs are less expensive than your wants, and limit yourself to just what you need. And I think if you do that, then you'll find yourself in a position where you'll end up with a payment that you can afford, and the vehicle won't end up becoming a burden.
Go ahead, Crystal.
Oh, I was just going to ask Ray, so if someone's like watching right now, or we're on YouTube, so they might watch later, and if they want more information about like how to get your company to help them out, what do they do?
Just use the internet, caredge.com. That's caredge.com. And there's all kinds of free tools that are available to help people navigate this experience.
You know, Ray, you bring up a good point too, though. You know, you have these situations where you need a new car. I heard this on Dave Ramsey, actually. I was on my way home after work listening. It popped up on the radio, and he said, if you look at a car, let's say a Ford Mustang, like Crystal had, it's not a Mercedes or it's not a BMW. It doesn't have that name tag. But if you get one that's fully loaded, it can be a better car, or a fully loaded Toyota Camry can be a better car in the long run than just getting something that has like the Mercedes or the BMW name.
Well, when you look at cars, you need to really look at the total picture. And what I mean by that is, what is it going to cost to maintain that vehicle? And some vehicles are less expensive than others to maintain.
Totally true.
Asian vehicles in particular are much less expensive to maintain than German vehicles, and Asian vehicles tend to have a longer term viability than many of the German brands. So yes, it's important to take everything into consideration when you're considering a car, what it's going to cost to maintain it, what it's going to cost to fuel it, what it's going to cost to insure it.
That's so. Insurance. Don't even mention insurance. With I got 3 teenagers at
Tags,
home.
all of it.
2 that drive. Thank you, Ray.
I'm sorry. I do apologize.
Oh my gosh! All right. Have a great 4th of July, Ray. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ray.
Thank you, guys. Enjoyed it. Take care.
Thank you. You know, interesting, Crystal. It's like you think about it, and it's like, you know, the AI component is super helpful, but when you think about everything that it takes to maintain a vehicle, tires, for example, like when you have to replace your tires or oil
It's also
changes,
expensive.
it is, and all you have to think about it and add it all into the
I will
equation.
say that I have the itch to get a new car. My car's 10 years
Yeah.
old, but not having a car payment
It's
I'm
amazing.
like, you look at the prices, and you're like, I want to see if this thing can hold on for a while.
Especially if you have kids, it's like, you know what, they're going to get back there and
there's
they're gonna,
Cheerios all over my car.
Yeah, goldfish and all kinds of stuff. So, you know, let's read off a couple of your comments. Great comments, by the way. 1999 Dodge Stratus, got it for $500, and it was stolen. Are you crazy, Jacob? Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. But $500, that's a great deal. I usually buy a car or a truck and drive it till the wheels fall off. And this is Jennifer, and I'm right there with you. My last truck was a 97 Ford Ranger. 2 years ago, I finally got a newer one.
How about, I'm like,
I know, we're like squinting.
I know, like it's bright in here, but Hassa, I don't know what the last name is, but it says, bought my car in 1976 for $6,800. Now it's worth $40,000 today.
Oh my gosh, it must be one of those nice, like vintage or maybe historic cars,
and just
or something.
everything the way it's gone up as well. Yeah.
I know,
Wild.
that's wild. Do we want to take a quick glance? We have about a minute and a half or something at weather.
Let's pop up my graphics,
Okay.
and I'll go kind of quickly through. Just like there's the look at this is the Twin Arrows Casino in Flag. You can see it's kind of hazy. That's another shot from Flagstaff, also hazy, because unfortunately that pocket fire is still making for those not great air quality conditions. So Sedona up to Flagstaff is still unhealthy to very unhealthy, and likely will be wobbling around there throughout the day. Good news is it's not super windy, but it will still be breezy up from Sedona to Flagstaff. And then I'm going to fast forward to my 4th of July forecast graphics, just for folks that are trying to get some plans ahead this coming weekend. There's 4 if you're going to Tempe Diablo Stadium tomorrow, 6 to 10. Not bad for the forecast. It'll still be kind of warm, 103, and then it falls to the middle 90s. And then if you are heading to Steel Indian School Park, you can see that hourly temperature forecast. The one thing I will point out is we're starting to see some clouds creep in right now, but by tomorrow it'll be more like a partly to mostly cloudy skies. So the official high is only forecast at 105, which, I mean, it's still hot. Still need to drink the water if you're going to be out and about. But for this time of year, that's actually pretty good. And then there's the fireworks / drone show forecast at 9 o'clock tomorrow night, about 68 degrees in Flag, 77 in Prescott. So overall, I mean, we've had for sure hotter and more humid celebrations for the 4th of July. Than
no kidding. What do we do before drones? Now the drone
honestly,
shows.
Some of those videos, I love fireworks, but they're almost, I don't know if I want to say cooler, but they're just so different and so, like, it's just really cool to see.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, take a look at your mystery camera this morning. Thank you all for still hanging with us. We love it. We love the combo, too, in the chat. It is spectacular. You guys are great. Okay, put your guesses. Where is this? We'll be right back. All right. Welcome back, everyone. You are looking live at one spectacular city somewhere on Earth, Crystal.
Do you have any idea?
It's so green.
It's really green.
Like bright green. Like, I don't know. I mean, we have a Pennsylvania from Thomas Brown.
Okay.
We have an Oregon from Be Kind Forever. She says Oregon. Husband says Tennessee.
I was going to say, like, what about, West
I
Virginia?
don't know.
Oh, somebody else said Virginia and West Virginia,
West
too.
Virginia could be good.
A lot of Tennessees as well.
So Crystal does a mystery camera at 8 a.m. on AZAM as well. So this time you're in the hot seat.
Well, it seems like I should know. I look at these cameras every day, but I look at so many that I have actually no idea.
Well, and I think sometimes they move the cameras around. Like they'll move the vantage point, right?
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so what are you going to go with, sister?
I'm going to go with West Virginia.
Okay, West Virginia. I'll go with Pennsylvania. Just for fun, from Thomas Brown.
All right.
Would you like to do the
honors?
Yeah, the honors. Here, let's see. Hold on one second. Okay, there we go. Okay.
Did anybody guess Ohio? Selena, Ohio. Wait.
Let's
it was
see.
behind the
Who
Selena,
did anybody
Ohio.
guess? We have a Michigan. We have a couple of Tennessees and Oregon. I do not see an Ohio.
We stumped you guys today.
I know, and us.
A rare
We're stumped.
occurrence. Yeah,
By the way, just in case you're wondering, here is, there's a lot of delicious things right here. And we're going to talk about it in just a brief moment with a very special guest that we have in studio. But we also first are going to chat this morning with Jerry Zajac, known as Zajac, known as J-Zac Rapper. Let's bring him in just a quick moment. First, let's show you this video. It's a little bit of a preview.
Tired of the hoops that I run through. I've been super anxious off conclusions I jump to, but what's new? Praying miracle come through. Left the house a mess, eating nothing but junk food. Anticipate the worst, it's been nothing but bad thoughts. Thinking about death and the day that I pass cross. Roam around mad lost, regretting my past shots. Never being real, I'm scared of taking my mask off to show who I am.
Love it. My goodness, like so talented.
Yeah.
All right, Jerry joins us now. Hey, Jerry, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
So we're loving the lyrics of that song. Walk us through kind of the writing process and kind of your, I guess, your mission. Like, what do you hope to share through your music?
It's a great question. I would say just honestly my real life and whatever emotion I'm going through at that moment. So obviously that song was a little more on the introspective end. Maybe one of those days where I woke up and I wasn't feeling the best about just kind of where I was at or life in general. But I'm kind of a full spectrum of emotions. So I have, other stuff that's, a little more high energy, fun, playful. But then you have that, which is, just a little more real life-esque. But that's kind of where my head was at.
Well, and what you're able to do is such a skill. Like, that is not easy to do. So, like, when did you realize this is something I can do professionally?
Oh, I think it took a long time to get to that point, but I remember the first time like recording a song and then hearing my voice back, and it was just like the most exciting thing that has ever happened to me. Cool. And I think once I got that, it kind of got hit with the bug of like, I just want to do this more. And if I'm lucky, maybe one day I'll be able to do it professionally. And over time, I was able to like get to that point. But it definitely wasn't an overnight thought,
Mm-hmm. So I want to read this comment from Little Philosophy in the chat. He says, nice rap and flow. I like the setting of the video too. It comes from kind of personal experience. You shared about that with the lyrics. What about the setting and how do you decide on where you're going to shoot something?
That's a good question. I think certain songs have like spark a vision of what the music calls for. So with that one, kind of the whole theme of the project that was on was kind of just nature-y vibe. But honestly, in today's day and age with social media and content and constantly having to be online, sometimes I don't even put any thought into it. And I'm like, let me just go outside and just shoot some stuff and see what looks good and keep it moving. So it's like battling the artistic version of like, what do I want this to look like? But then also the just version that's like, we're moving quick. Let's just put something out.
That's pretty amazing. So can I ask, how old are you?
I'm 35.
35. And so you have this amazing career. When you were younger, did you always want to perform on stage, or was there something else? Like, did you ever want to be like an astronaut or something? Or like, were you ever thinking, was there another dream you had as a kid, or was this always it?
A bit cliche, but I really thought I would make it to the NBA until I was like 14, and then I was like 5'6", and I was like, okay, I don't think this one's working out, and I got cut from the basketball team in high school, and I was like, maybe I should shift gears.
You know what? I don't know. Michael Jordan got cut too. You could have really had a chance, I think, Jerry. You could have had a chance. This is so exciting. You have an upcoming show happening here in town, right?
I do. Yes, July 18th.
And where is that going to be?
Central Records in Phoenix.
Oh, that's going to be amazing.
Cool.
Yeah,
so
great
if people
venue.
want tickets, is it like online, or how can they do that?
So you can get them night of. So you could RSVP online, but tickets will be sold at the door at Central Records right at the venue. So you could just come on July 18th and grab a ticket. It's gonna be a fun time.
Oh my goodness, Jerry! If you're here during like this time of the day, we would love to have you like live here in the studio. That would be amazing. Just reach out to Dave, Big D, and we'll get you here in studio. We'd love to talk to you.
I'd love to do it. I'll reach out to Dave and maybe we can make it happen. That'd be super fun.
Cool. Yeah, if you call him Big D, he might even make an exception for you and give you some extra time. Jerry, good luck, my friend. It was so great to hear from you and to take some time to chat with us. Thank you. Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th. Appreciate you
All right, thanks
for having me.
Yeah, much success in the future. This right here, Crystal, this is amazing.
It was a little hard to not keep looking at the donuts. Well,
I think people in the chat are like, I want the red one. What am I going to take?
Someone asked if we're going to share.
Oh, well, we would, but if there's
the screen.
Yeah, smell-o-vision, right? Because you can smell the donuts. It smells so delicious. There's a closer look for you. So we have Candace here in studio. Candace, it's good to see you.
It's good to see you all as well.
Yeah. So Candace, she's like, everybody always thinks that I own the Randy's. I'm always there working and everything. And you're kind of the face of the company. There's one, I guess, company that owns all of the Randy's franchise in Arizona.
Correct. So we're a franchise out of California, but there are 3 owners here in Arizona. They're all entrepreneurs. We have Brian, Carlos, and RJ, which is Richard Suzuki. So.
Yeah.
Amazing. And you guys are doing something very special for 4th of July?
We are, and of course we're celebrating America with the 250th celebration. So we have the celebration of the birthday cake. So right now we are celebrating America with, giving back to our customers for their loyalty inside of our stores, and of course celebrating history.
Yeah, here I'm gonna lift this.
I was gonna say, can we talk about the box?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so in our box we do have our Randy's rounds, and you see how big they are. They are normally this size every single day. So what we have is a 250th like sprinkle edition. So you have our vanilla ice, you have our blue icing, and of course decorating the sprinkles, and of course our vanilla icing as well too. Oh. Yes, it's a variety.
Wait, is one chocolate?
And one is chocolate down there too. Absolutely.
You want to try it?
For science.
Oh my God, I can't believe y'all are trying them right now.
I'm gonna try this white one right
Tell
here.
me.
So this is like. This is a real deal here.
You know what? It's a big deal, and I tell everyone every day, when you come into our stores, this is what you get. See,
your donuts make you dance.
Donuts make you dance. They make you sing. Makes you do a lot.
What is it about, you think, donuts that are just kind of universal? I feel like in the chat people are talking about it. Sometimes in like the office, people are like picking them up on a Friday. There's something really special about something, especially food, that brings people together.
I believe it's unity. Mm-hmm. And so you're able to fellowship with one another. Mm-hmm. And so every week I have one of our clients, I absolutely adore all of them though, but like Gilbert Mercy Hospital, every week they're ordering for the construction workers between 16 to 30 dozens every Saturday. And then even for like the baseball teams, like the minor teams, the Angels, I deliver every Saturday to them, and they're waiting for me at 6:00 a.m. to make sure their donuts are present. So I feel they told me that it just brings them together, and also like during the week with the hard work, it just allows them to relax and enjoy a good treat.
I've sampled some of you guys' donuts in the past. Driving by, it's like, all right, let me test one out. What's your favorite one?
OMG. Buttercrumb.
Ooh,
Buttercrumb is my favorite one out of the store. Matter of fact, it's a couple of our customers' favorite.
What is it? Describe it for
So
us.
it's glazed. So it's of course a raised donut with glaze, powdered sugar, like a breadcrumby. And one of our management staff, she puts a scoop of vanilla ice cream on hers when she goes home.
Oh my gosh,
so it turns it into a dessert.
So I think there is kind of like there's a cult following when it comes to Randy's. So if you're in LA, it's like the legendary. I believe it's by the airport. I think I've seen it by
Yes, I
LAX.
think it was it, yes.
It was a very very first one, and you had that big donut, and it's
On
been
top of
in
the building.
movies, and it's kind of like it's this iconic thing. Yeah.
Yes, like this, very iconic.
Donuts. So when you all came to Arizona, it was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing because everybody knew about them in LA. And so
Absolutely.
I feel like that same cult following is now here. And it brings kind of like Phoenix always, people say it's a little mini LA. And it kind of is, right? And do you see that from people who walk into your place? They're like, oh yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's California people, of course, that lives here. So when they walk in our store, they're like, I remember when I was a kid, I used to get this pink sprinkle. So it brings back this long time memory of generations. They've done it with mom, dad, grandpa.
Yeah.
And so I love seeing that in our stores.
Very cool. And how long are you guys going to have this going on with all the cool America 250 donuts?
Okay, so this is going to be running Sunday, all the way through Sunday, and there's going to be $2.50 off all the sprinkles, 250 celebration donut boxes, dozen boxes.
And you call this the donut cake?
Yes, this is our birthday celebration cake, and this has to be pre-ordered because we want to make sure everyone, of course, is going to get theirs in the store. So order today, so we can make sure that you have your birthday celebration starting for tomorrow and for Sunday.
I feel like it's really popular for weddings too to do donuts instead of cakes, and I'm like getting that vibe from this.
I feel like this is going to make a huge impact for Randy's. Our Instagram right now is loaded with messages from people requesting a birthday cake. So now they've seen this. They're like, hey, can you do it for our wedding? Can you do it for a birthday? So I'm just like, let me get this done.
Candace, thank you so much for coming in, and thank you for feeding our bellies.
Yes. Thank you for having us.
Celebrate this amazing holiday. Happy birthday, America! 250 never looks so good, and happy birthday to everyone in the chat. If it's your birthday as well, Crystal, it's good to see you. Thank you for coming in and joining us. And here is a gorgeous shot. We'll leave you with this beautiful shot here. Have a wonderful 4th of July weekend, and thank you all for joining us. All right, have a great day, everyone.